Hi, my name is Lily Papenfus, and welcome to my TED Talk. Today I'm going to be talking about how leaders become successful. Specifically, I'll be talking about Bill Gates. Some of you may know Bill Gates as a business leader, software developer, and philanthropist. He's most famous for being the co-founder of Microsoft. And while at Microsoft, he held many different jobs from CEO to executive director to even just a coder until 2008 when he left Microsoft for good to develop his foundation. Since leaving Microsoft, he and his wife have become worldwide philanthropists through the founding of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They have donated large amounts of money to various organizations, including the Rotary International that helps eliminate polio. In 1987, Bill Gates was listed as a billionaire in Forbes' 400 Richest People in America issue, where he was the world's youngest self-made billionaire. Bill Gates is often viewed as one of the top admired leaders in business. Former employees of Microsoft who worked with Gates describe him as a demanding boss, but also a caring boss who encouraged innovation and creativity while also recognizing team achievements as well as individual achievements. Gates would have regular meetings with his employees where they were required to report out their ideas and findings to him. So in my opinion, I would classify Bill Gates as using authoritarian leadership as well as transformational. So one of the traits that I think is important that Bill Gates shows for his transformational leadership is called focus. We all know what focus is, but Gates focused almost his whole teenage and adult life on something that he was good at. And he knew best, which was software. He worked so hard and even dropped out of college to make software that he thought was up to par and that he thought was to the best of his abilities. Gates also focused on the skills that were his strengths and didn't try to attempt activities that he wasn't good at. He was okay with delegating those things to other people, which is always a good trait that a leader should have. Another trait that Bill Gates has that I think is really good for a leader to have is called the big picture. This means that you are always looking forward and seeing what's ahead instead of just looking at the small, like what's going on right now. Like, if you have a certain situation happening, you can go and be like, okay, how are we going to come out of this stronger and better? Bill Gates always had the big picture in mind when creating visions and setting goals. When he was in high school and started learning how to code computers and started developing software, he probably had a company in mind, but probably not as big of a company. But as he progressed, he was like, okay, how can I make this better and how can I make this good for other people to use as well? So one interesting quote I found from him was, we always overestimate the change that will occur in the next 2 years, but we always underestimate the change that will occur in the next 10. So if you think about it, like, we're always looking forward 2 years or 5 years, but we're never looking 10 years ahead. Maybe you are, but most people probably aren't. It seems like it's really far away, so having that big picture mentality is really good. Another one that I thought is good is caring. So while most people know Bill Gates as one of the richest people in the world, he is also known as one of the most plentiful givers to philanthropy organizations in the world today. In 2010, along with Warren Buffett, Gates and his wife Melinda promised to give away a majority of their wealth. Over $28 billion has been donated to his foundation, or through his foundation, with the intent of giving $90 billion in time. Gates has always taken a selfless approach to his leadership, spending considerable money and time in philanthropic efforts to give to others. This helps shows his character and focus on societal responsibility as a multi-billionaire. He is realizing that he can make such a difference with all the money that he has, and he's not keeping it to himself. He noted in a 1999 interview, as we look ahead into the next century, leaders will be those who empower others. So he is empowering others to go ahead and come into society with the means that they need to become great leaders and lead our generation. The last trait is being passionate, which I think is really key for leaders to have. Whether you like Gates' leadership and company or not, there's no denying that he put a lot of love into what he did. He would work tirelessly day after day to make sure that the product was perfect for the consumer. If there was the smallest thing wrong, he would send it back to his employees and be like, fix this. It has to be the best for the people, because otherwise, like, they're not going to buy it. And he wanted to make what was best. Gabe believed that if something is worth doing, that it is worth doing to want the best of one's abilities. And if that means delegating it to someone else, then so be it. You know, we can't do everything. You have to give other people a chance as well to show their creativity and innovation as well, and not just keep everything to yourself and try to come out on top, because you're just going to get stressed. Like, you can't do it all. We all know that. We've all tried. It's really hard. So being able to realize what you're good at and work to those strengths while also helping develop other people's strengths is a really key. So Bill Gates is known to many as the richest man in the world, but has influenced so many different parts of society, from the business world to donating millions of dollars to people in need. While he did practice many leadership styles, you can clearly see the transformational leadership qualities in Gates. His leadership style is definitely one to admire and strive to practice if you're leading any team in the area. I really enjoyed researching Gates' leadership. I really like his leadership, and this is the type of leadership that I always strive to be. And I hope that we all kind of strive to have that transformational leadership, because I feel like that's what a leader is. It's someone who builds a team up and helps them figure out their strengths and helps them work to the best of their ability. So yeah, thanks for coming to my TED Talk.